I originally came up with the idea for Paradise Road while we were watching American Graffiti one night a few months ago. There's a scene in American Graffiti where the John Milner character and Harrison Ford character are talking about going to drag race someplace, and Harrison Ford asks him, where are we going? And John Milner's character says, Paradise Road. And then he takes off in his car. And I sat there, and I've seen this movie countless times. And all of a sudden, it kind of slapped me in the face. I went, that's the name of a movie. That's a movie. That can be a movie. And so I started thinking about how it could be a movie. What is it about Paradise Road? What does it represent? And so I just started thinking, what has been done, but it needs to be maybe revisited yet again. And I kind of thought of The Karate Kid, and that's one of my favorite films. And I was just thinking, let's bring back that level of feel good. Let's bring back that camaraderie and that teaching aspect between an adult and a young person, because I don't feel like there's a lot of that these days.
I was introduced to the director, Todd Ernest Brayley, through mutual friends of ours, producer Joe Quintanilla and Will Gary, and I was brought in on another film of Todd's, and Todd and I were having a discussion. Yes, we did have many discussions about that project and this one, Paradise Road, and some other future projects that he has in the works. And he had happened to see an older interview of mine with a character named Miss Misery. And in that interview, I was mentioning, she was asking me, would you consider doing a family film? And I said, well, yes, actually I would. In fact, I've been looking to do that exact type of film, a family film, holiday films, heartfelt dramas, and films that center around family values. And so Todd had seen this interview, and he contacted me and he said, well, it just so happens I have a family film that in the works, and would you be interested? And of course I said, yes. Yes, I would be interested. Thank you very much.
I have a friend of mine, Deborah Lamb, who was over in Vienna, and we had struck up a friendship a while back, and we were getting acquainted, talking on the phone. Some about my projects that were coming up, and some about her projects that were coming up. And she had mentioned that she was involved in a sequel called Misfits 2, and that the writer Todd was a brilliant writer, and that it was a good role that she had. And she went on to say that she's always wanted to do a little bit more mainstream thing, and that he had an opportunity for her in a movie called Paradise Road. And the next day she sent me some information on it, and I looked it up, and I thought, wow, this looks like a pretty cool movie, a family-oriented movie, a Deborah Lamb family-oriented movie. This is going to be intriguing. I looked at the cast that Todd had put together, and it was pretty amazing. And I think she had mentioned to me that I might be good for a role in it. After looking at it, I thought, well, that would be fantastic.
This one kind of just came together. I mean, the storyline, it wasn't difficult. I literally came up with the outline in a matter of, I don't know, like an hour is pretty much, I had the outline of the story, and then it was just, I kind of progressed from there. And we had shot Silence, and Nick Hamm had been in Silence, and the first person I thought of to play the role of Patrick was Nick, because Nick has a lot of car experience and he's got a lot of life experience, so he's been around the block. Right, ready, and action.
She's gone. She left.
And whose fault would that be? How many times are we going to have this conversation?
Look, I'll quit this when I'm goddamn ready. If you don't like it, there's the door.
Get in it, kid. Do it. Come on. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here now. Go. Get out of my job. Go on.
Paradise Road, Scene 8, Take 1.
Okay. Go ahead and come down a little lower. And then, Nick, I want you to speak up.
Okay.
And really just, tell them what you talk to them. I want this to be a little more of a teaching thing, so instead of just pointing and saying what it is, make this a, now what you
Problem
have.
solution.
Yeah, there you go. All right, ready? And action.
Right. So the problem we're having now, it's hot starting. It's having trouble hot starts, and it's got too much of a draw on it. With the battery in the back, we're gonna have to run a new ground straight from it to the starter, get a better ground on it.
I just decided, you know what, let's go ahead and talk to Nick and see how he'd feel about playing this character. And when I asked him about it, first of all, he was just like, dude, I get to be in another movie? I said, yeah, let's do it. And then when I told him what the character is, he goes, wow, he goes, that's me. And I went, then I guess the character's perfect for you then, isn't that? And so he was the first person cast in the film.
I've done a lot of work in drama and other genres of film. A lot of the projects that have involved me playing more dramatic characters have not yet been released upon the public. My character was going to be a mother who fell into some drug use, had an alcohol problem, had a lot of addiction issues, and left her children for a time and was trying to come back and get back into their lives. So I was extremely thrilled that he offered me the role, and this is exactly the type of character I've been looking to play. And so I'm really very fortunate that the timing was just perfect.
Look, lady, I don't know you from Adam, but these are my kids, okay? They belong with me. They belong with their mom.
Deborah comes in and just cleans house with her dramatic acting, which I knew was there, and I knew from seeing some of her other work that it was possible, but it was like almost like she just stepped on the gas and just blew it up another 10 notches. So it's like everybody's game was stepped up, and the bar was raised now that when we get this movie done, we're gonna have to work really hard to raise it again, because the chemistry between all of the actors and the quality of their work is just amazing.
We came to shoot a teaser here in Colorado is beyond amazing. They're not really a lot of veteran actors involved, but the talent that has come out of what I've seen since I've been here is just beyond words.
I was really excited to be working with this group of actors. There were actors that this was their first film, and there were actors who had done a few things. So there was different levels as to their experience, but they were all extremely just warm, lovely, loving people. They were all very excited about the project. They all gelled with each other so well, just a really, really good group of people. The ones that this was their first acting job, they were incredible. They were, they were just natural. I think a lot of credit goes to the director, Todd Ernest Braley, who I have said to him a few times, you are an actor's director, because he just knows how to interact with the actors, and he of course knows that they're at different levels. He knows these people personally. A lot of these people are friends of his, so everyone had such a good rapport with Todd and with each other.
I really like feel-good stories. Everything you see at the movies, not all, everything, but a lot of the stuff now is a lot of action stuff, a lot of horror stuff. It's very seldom that you get a really wholesome movie that's about redemption, somewhat about family values, not necessarily a Hallmark movie, but something that feels good. And this movie, reading it, really felt good. I'm intrigued by that. I reached a point in my career where I had made a movie that had a lot of redemption at the end of it, and I don't think I've ever felt that good about what I'm doing as an actor at the end of that movie. So I was kind of looking for something like this, and it was a blessing for it to come along.
This film is going to touch a lot of lives, and it has already touched my life personally, and I know it's touched Scott's life, Scott Ingrati, and Todd, the director, Todd E. Braley, and everybody, like I said, everybody on the cast and crew has been touched. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just a few scenes out of this film, and I don't like to compare one film to another, but I can really see this film taking its place among other iconic or classic family films that have this same sort of basis in, the struggle, the human struggle. The human struggle is the same everywhere. It's the same all over the world, and it's the same from city to city. We all have our stories, and this is one story that I'm so proud to be a part of.